Good morning. Today, inshallah, we will talk about Unit 11, Lesson 1, different graphs. What are the ways used to represent data? We have three ways to represent the data. First, bar graph. The bar graph is used to represent one type of data by drawing columns. For example, Hani made this list for the shirt colors his friends were wearing. Make a table and represent it by a bar graph. Let's count together the blue shirt: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And red shirts: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Last one, the green shirt: 1, 2, 3. Example 2. Observe the given graph and answer the following. Letter A. Which fruit has the lowest number of students? Look at the graph and where is the smallest or the lowest column? Yes, mango. So the fruit has the lowest number of students is mango. Letter B. Which fruit has the greatest number of students? From the graph, where is the greatest or the tallest column? The strawberry. So the fruit has the greatest number of students is strawberry. Letter C. How many more students like banana than apple? More than, we will subtract the number of students who like apple from the number of students who like banana. So 6 minus 4 equal 2 students. Letter D. How many students like orange? From the graph, the number of students is 5 students. Example 3. Observe the given graph and answer the following. The following graph represents the number of moons around each planet. Letter A. Which planet has the lowest number of moons? From the graph, we find that Earth has only one moon. Letter B. What is the number of moons around Mars? From the graph, we find that Mars has two moons. Letter C. Which planet has less moons than Neptune but more than Earth? From the graph, Neptune has 13 moons. Okay, and Earth has only one moon. So the planet has less moons than Neptune but more than Earth is Mars. Letter D. Which planet has more moons than Mars but fewer than Uranus? From the graph, the number of moons around Mars is 2 and the number of moons around Uranus is 27. So the planet has more moons than Mars but fewer than Uranus is Neptune. Another example, observe the given graph and answer the following. The following graph represents the number of boys and girls in each sport. Letter A, which is the most preferred sport of the girls? From the double bar graph, we will look at the tallest pink column. We find that basketball is the most preferred sport of the girls. Letter B, which is the most preferred sport of the boys? From the double bar graph, where is the tallest or the greatest blue column? We find that the squash is the most preferred sport of the boys. Letter C, how many girls like squash? We will find that the number of girls like squash is 5 girls. Letter D, which sport is liked by 10 girls? From the double paragraph, we find that the pink column is tennis. Observe the given graph and answer the following. The following graph represents two different types of data, so we use the double bar graph. Okay, the following graph represents the favorite sports for each student. Letter A, how many boys prefer swimming? We will find that we have 12 boys. Letter B, how many girls prefer volleyball? From the bar graph, we will find that there are 4 girls prefer volleyball. Observe the given graph and answer the following. Letter A, what is the number of boys in first grade? The number of boys is 60 boys. Letter B, what is the number of girls in third grade? We will find that there are 60 girls in the third grade. Letter C, in which grade the number of boys is equal to the number of girls? From the graph, we find that third grade, the number of boys and the number of girls is equal 60. The third way to represent data is line plot. Line plot is used to represent the numerical data by using the number line. For example, Farida collected data about training time after school on a day for her friends to the nearest half an hour as follows. Let's count together the number of students who training for half hour. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1 hour. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1.5 hour. 1, 2, 3. And 2 hours. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 2.5 hours. 1, 2. And last one, 3 hours is only one student. Now we will represent the numerical data by using the line plot. And don't forget that the K of line plot. Hx equal 1 friend. So half hour, there are 4 students training for half hour. So we will draw 4 x's, and 1 hour there are 5 students training for 1 hour, so we will draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 x's, and so on. Another example: observe the given graph and answer the following. The following line plot represents a numerical data, and each x stands for 2 children. Find the number of children whose ages are 10 years old. So, from the line plot, the number of children whose age are 10 years old, 2, 4, 5. So, there are 5 children. Choose the correct answer from the double bar graph. Which grade like vegetables more than fruits? We find that primary 3. Letter B. What is the total number of students who like vegetables and fruits in grade 4? From the following graph, we will find that the number of students who like vegetables and fruits equal 190 students. Which of the following can be represented by double bar graph? At first, we know that double bar graph is used to represent two different types of data. So we will choose maximum and minimum temperature in different sectors. 2. What is the representation of data through individual columns? Bar graph. 3. When the data is numbers, use what to the represent on the number line. We say that the line block is represent the numerical data. So the line block represent on the number line and represent data in numbers. Which of the following can be represented by a double bar graph? Double bar graph, so we want two different types of data. Favorite animal, our child size, marks of friends in math and Arabic, or favorite color. The only one has two different types of data is marks of friends in math and Arabic. To represent the number of working hours for Ahmed and Hassan in one week, you can use double bar graph. Last one, to compare between rainfall in Egypt in the 2 years 2022 and 2023. We use double bar graph. The opposite graph shows mark for 4 students, which student got the lowest mark. Where is the smallest or the shortest column? We find that Farida is the lowest mark. The opposite graph shows pictograph or line plot, bar graph, double bar graph. When we use two different types of data, so we use double bar graph. Which type graph is suitable for this data? We have a name and age of each student, so we will use bar graph. The opposite graph shows a line plot. The following table can be represented by, we have two types of data, so we can use double bar graph. Last one, which of the following can be represented by a line plot? So we need a numerical data. Our favorite movie, or our favorite animal, or our height, or our favorite food. We need a numerical data, so we choose our height. Now we will talk about lessons 2 and 3, floating along and breaking the bar. Line plot with fractions. A line plot is a graph that shows the frequency of data along a number line. For example, Amgad has a farm and just received a shipment of young tomato plants. He wanted to get a clear view of the lengths of plants he received to the nearest quarter decimeter. He recorded the lengths in decimeter. Represent this data by line plot and answer the following. By representing the data by using line plot, let's read and answer the following. Letter A. Which plant height occurred most often? From the line plot, we find that 4 and 1/4 decimeter is occurred most often. Letter B. Which heights were recorded for the same number of plants? From the time plot, we find that 3 and 3/4 decimeter and 4.5 decimeter have the same number of plants. Letter C. How many plants did Amgad measure all together? So we will count all the number of plants. We find that we have 20 plants. Letter D. What was the height of each of the tallest and shortest plants? From the line plot, 4.5 decimeter and 3 decimeter. Last one, how many total plants measured from 4 decimeter to 4.5 decimeter? Count from the line block We have 2 and 4 and 6. So 2 plus 6 plus 4 equal 12 plants. Example: the opposite table shows the scores obtained by the four friends Yusuf, Sameh, Noha, and Ola in the pre-test and test. Represent this data by double bar graph. Another example: look at the data and think about what scale you will use. We have three ways to represent data: bar graph and double bar graph and line plot. Here we have and numerical data, so we must use line plot. Okay, how will you organize the fraction data? Where will your number line begin and end? Create a line plot for the data. At first, what is the number of 1 kilometer? Let's count together. We have only 1 kilometer. 1 kilometer. Okay, 1.5. How many? 1.5. Only 1. 2.5 kilometers. We have 1, 2. 2 and 3/4. We have 1, 2, 3. 3 kilometers. We have 1, 2. And 3.5 kilometers. We have 1, 2. Last one, 3 and 3/4 kilometers. We have only 1. Now we can represent the data by using line plot. Example: this data shows the distance from home to school for students. The data are given in kilometers. Create line plot for the given data. Use your line plot to answer the following. After represent the data by using line plot, let's read and answer the following. Letter A. How many students were certified? Now we will count the total number of students. So we have 11 students. Letter B. What is the shortest distance any student lives from school? From the line plot we find that 1/5 kilometer is the shortest distance. Letter C. What is the furthest distance any student lives from school? From line plot we find that 5/5 or 1 kilometer is the furthest distance. Letter D. What is the most common distance students live from school? So the greatest number or the greatest common distance is 4/5 kilometer. Last one. What are the least common distance students live from schools? We find that 1/5 kilometer and 3/5 kilometer is the least common distance.